What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a while, but today I'm working on my wife's 2019 Ford Expedition XLT again. Same thing, headlights. Last time, a little bit over a year ago, I installed the Hikari LED bulbs, which have been really good bulbs, okay? Good light output, super bright. You can see while you're driving at night. There's been really no complaints about it. So here, off. This is them. This is the before. So there they are. So the reason I'm swapping them out is yesterday, well, actually a couple weeks ago, I was like, you know what? I got some aftermarket lenses on my F-150. I got a 2019 F-150. And they came with halogen bulbs. And when I ordered them, I was like, I'm going to go ahead and throw some LEDs into it. When I threw the LEDs into it, when I installed the headlights, just not bright. And so I was really just kind of let down by that. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to go old school. I'm going to go HID kit here. And I ended up ordering a set off of the Retrofit Source. And these are made by XenonDepot. And this is their X-Treme HID line. And these are 35 watt ballast right here. Here's the wiring harness and relay per side. And here are the two bulbs right here, 9005 and a 5K color. If you can see here, these are HB3s for the low beam, which is also the 9005 bulb. But I guess the main reason I'm doing this is happy wife, happy life, I guess you could say. I thought ahead, and since I was buying some premium HIDs for my truck, you know how things work. I was like, well, I'm going to go ahead and, throw a set into for my wife. Change hers out. That way she doesn't feel left out, that I'm neglecting her truck, that I've done so much to my truck since I've got it. And they just don't make a lot of stuff for the Expedition. So there's not really a whole lot you can do. So what we're going to do is I'm going to install the relay and the ballast right here and run the wires underneath this part of the frame right here and get to the headlight bulb. Because you got to take the dust cover off, cut a hole, because you're going to have wires coming out of the dust cover. Going to be coming in through the side, just like before, and be able to have easy access to it. Then you got to run your power wire right over here, and then up there on your terminal. And when you pull this back, you got this little bolt and nut right here that you got to take off, and you can put your little terminal on there, and you're good to go. And also, there is a grounding lug right here. So that's all set. Over here, same thing on this side, ballast and relay right there. Power to there, grounding terminal. Boom, done. So, all right, guys. Well, let's go ahead and get started. All right, here is the dust cover. I already cut the hole into it. It doesn't have to be perfect because with your new bulb here, it comes with this rubber grommet. Okay, these are the wires that are going to be coming out of your dust cover. Now this is going to plug into your factory plug that normally plugs right into your light inside your housing that's usually covered up with a dust cover. So you just plug this into that plug, and then all these wires are going to come out and connect to your ballast and your relay. So that's those. Just used just a box cutter. Like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect because this little rubber grommet, it's rubber, so it fits in there pretty snug. Here is the rubber grommet in there, if you can see it. Yep. Easy breezy. All right, here is the wiring harness. Yeah, it doesn't make... kind of sucks on the passenger side because all this wire is going to have to be zip tied and bundled up and everything. But yep, so there's your good look of your wiring harness and relay. Okay guys, this worked out way easier than what I expected it to. Ended up, I tested this right here. It does not hit the hood. So I was able to mount the ballast right here. All I did was trim this little piece of plastic back so the ballast could fit on a flat piece of this radiator support right here. And then I mounted the relay right here on top too that does not hit the hood. So everything's right here. And I was able to put the wires in right down here, right behind the headlight. The other box that comes from the ballast right here, this wire runs and then it runs right here. And all I had to do is put some 3M double-sided tape on it and stuck it to the frame right here. So it's secured. 2 wires go down there, hook up to the headlight. Ran that. I haven't secured this wire yet, the positive, going over there to the battery, because I wanted to test, make sure everything works on this side first. Let me get the lights back on, and I'm going to show you guys the difference here. And you can kind of be the judge of it. When it first comes on, it's more on the bluer side, then it whitens up. And I will tell you, it is definitely brighter than the LED. Now, granted, that LED bulb, that Hikari LED bulb is a great bulb. Anybody wants to do LED, I still recommend that bulb. It's bright, okay? You're going to see 10 times better than the stock halogen. But this HID is definitely brighter. And if you look at this right here, it's a solid beam coming through, okay? Now you can see how defined. This is the problem with LEDs, is because it's got that bar in each side the LED's on. So that right there, there's definitely a blind spot somewhere up here in the front that you might not be able to see here on the wall. But if you're driving at night, there's probably going to be a little dark spot in your view. But I mean, I'm sure the light probably makes up for it, but it's definitely not a full beam coming out like it is out of the HID side. So that's the only downfall of the LED bulbs, because it's just not a solid light all the way around. It's only on each side, and then you got that bar in the middle. So you got to have that bar because you got to have the heat sink around that LED. But yep, lights cut off again. Anyways, let me go ahead and get this other side put on, and then lights will, I mean, this is way easier than my F-150. So we'll get that on here and finish this up. All right, everybody, I just finished installing everything, and I'm going to save all of you the video of me like plugging everything up, because there's really no need to show all that. I can't really get to it with the video anyways. It's plug and play behind the headlight. You just got to plug everything in from down here. But I want to say that this worked out great on the install. It was a lot easier than my F-150. And so if you're thinking about doing HIDs to the Expedition, go ahead and do it, because it's really not that bad. I was going to install everything on the inside right here, but I ended up, as you can see, mounted everything up top. Everything's out of the way. It's not going to hit anything. I already checked clearance on the hood. The hood does not come down this far right here. So, and it's also good for this ballast, so we've got some airflow coming in straight to this ballast. So all I had to do was trim this plastic trim piece right here that covers this section of the radiator and everything. I trimmed it, put a couple screws into the ballast to secure it, and I also used the 3M tape on the bottom just to kind of give it a little bit of cushion, I guess, instead of metal on metal. Relay mounted right here. The little box that comes out of the ballast that plugs into your HID, I put some 3M double-sided tape on it, secured it right here. The wires go right underneath the support, and your headlight's right there. All your extra wires go in right here, this little compartment right here, right behind your headlight. So you can zip tie those up and put them in there and hide them. Positive wire ran this way, underneath this. I drilled a little hole right here, put a zip tie on it to kind of secure it right here. Put a zip tie right here underneath the reservoir. Another zip tie. Don't zip tie this one too hard, just nice and gentle. Don't really crank on it, because this is part of your radiator reservoir. Ran it down here. Here's your fuse for your driver's side. Here's my fuse for my passenger side. Had to zip tie all that extra wire up. And then right here, your little terminal right here, you just have to unscrew that. I think it was a size 11. So make sure you got an 11 box end or socket. And same thing on this side. Ballast mounted right here. Relay mounted right here. All the extra wires are inside this compartment over here. Grounding lug, and then the little box. I just double side 3M taped it right here, and you can run those wires right underneath this mount to the back of your headlight. Okay? So, all right, let me go ahead, turn this on. There's a little bit of whine coming out of the ballast when they first start up, but then after they warm up, they quiet down, and then you can barely even hear them. But here you go. Yeah, I'm going to say they are, you know, everybody always 10 times brighter or anything like that. They're not 10 times brighter than those LEDs, but they definitely are brighter. So the cutoff is very defined. And I also want to say that I think they match those switchback LEDs that I've got for the turn signals. So this is going to look really good. I think everything's kind of matched up quite well. All right, guys, here is the nighttime video with the HID lights. And just like my F-150 video, I'm going to go in here into a new subdivision, or a new section of my subdivision that's being built. It's pretty dark, so it'll kind of give you a good idea just how bright these lights are. But still, at the same time, they're bright, but they're not blinding to other drivers like a lot of LEDs are, especially if you put an LED bulb inside of a halogen housing. Oh, there you go. You get a good view of the cutoff of these things. All right, let me go down here where it's really pitch black. So yeah, I am very happy with this HID kit, and hopefully they last, I guess, being a more along the lines of a premium brand, I guess you could say. And hopefully they got some longevity to them. But yeah, there you go. So all right, guys, well, I'm gonna go ahead and end this video. If you've got any ideas, or if you've done anything to your expeditions, hit me up in the comments section. Let me know what you did. Post some pictures or a link to your YouTube or something, because I'm looking at ideas, man. This thing just, there's not a lot of aftermarket parts for these expeditions, and so you know, sometime in the future, we're going to be adding the automatic running boards, because we've got the XLT, so it's just got the stationary running boards. So I mean, that would make for a pretty interesting video, I guess. But otherwise than that, you know, rims and tires. Oh, one of the other things I was thinking about doing was changing out the seat covers to the cat skin leather covers. So I think you can get those with some nice design to them, maybe get a color match or something like that. But that's one of the other things I was thinking about doing. But if anything else, like I said, hit me up in the comments section. Let me know what you've done, pictures, all that fun stuff, and maybe I'll look at doing it to this thing. But anyways, thank you everybody for checking out the video. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you don't mind, and hopefully I'll get some more content coming your way. Thank you and have a good night.